Hi there. Today I didn't get much done again. I'm getting worried here. I'm in the back nine, so to speak, the back half of my 90-day challenge, day 51, I believe it is, out of 90 days. We have. I had business meetings all day. We have a software system for sawmills and for the wood industry. Our chief IT guy resides in Toronto. He was here. We were visiting with potential users here in Vancouver. Then we had a dinner with him and the staff. So even though I've got this first episode of my Kim Young Ha podcast transcribed, I've done maybe 3 or 4 paragraphs there. I'm going through, linking the words, saving the words, so that I can then read it on my iPad while listening to it. Didn't get much done, but tomorrow I'm going to devote more time to it. I've also spent a fair amount of time again, because this whole Ukrainian situation is so interesting. There's a tremendous information war going on now, with all kinds of information flying around, and you don't know what's true and what isn't. I listened to Vladimir Putin's press conference, where he stated categorically that the troops in the Crimean who seized, airport or whatever, that those are not Russian troops. And there was an interview at Echo Moskvi with a Ukrainian officer who said he interacted with those people, and they were from the Russian Black Sea Fleet that's there. Of course, the Russians have every right to station up to 25,000 troops in their naval port there, according to the agreement. But of course, they don't have permission to charge around the Crimean countryside with uniforms with no insignia, seizing various strategic assets. So we'll see what the truth is there. According to this Ukrainian officer, the people who were going around with unmarked uniforms were from the Russian Black Sea Fleet and some former Berkut security forces from the Ukraine. Who knows? I don't know. Now there's a report of a leaked conversation between the Estonian foreign minister and the EU foreign minister that suggests that the snipers at the Maidan Square were actually members of the opposition, not under instructions from Yanukovych to fire on people. But that's based on one witness who was subsequently, this is a nurse, and then that nurse in another article I read was interviewed and claims that this was not the case, that she never said that. So there is a lot of information flying around. So really all we can do is sit back and wait. And hope, though. I mean, it was encouraging in Prime Minister Putin's interview that he says that if the due process is followed, that there are parliamentary elections and so forth, and that there's a government that is actually elected by the people, which is not the case with the government right now. Even Yatsenuk, these are not people who have been elected by the people to represent them. But if there is a legitimate government in the Ukraine, he's going to work with them. He already has contact with even some of those existing people there. And so I have the feeling that things will gradually wind down, although there will be some fallout, and I guess time will tell. And as part of that, I have lined up some conversations. Not only do I have conversations lined up with 2 Korean tutors here at Link, I'm also going to be talking to 1 Ukrainian, 1 Russian, and 1 tutor from Belarus. So I will be getting some different perspectives on this whole situation. Of course, what most of all matters is that life in Ukraine gets back to normal as quickly as possible. It is rather sad to see that if you look at the statistics, the economic performance of Ukraine has been so poor that their average standard of living now is significantly lower than in Russia and significantly lower than in Poland, even though Poland 20 years ago was equivalent to the Ukraine. Now Poland is 3 times where it was, and the Ukraine has actually seen their standard of living decline. So out of all of this, we hope that the situation improves for the Ukrainians. And I can't see how their situation can improve without the significant involvement in a positive way of Russia and Russians.